For 2 years, her neighbor had a key to her apartment. Not once, not twice. Every week. He wasn't breaking in. He wasn't stealing. He was living parts of his life inside her home. And the only reason she ever found out was because he made one mistake. One tiny, careless mistake that she almost didn't catch. If you asked anyone in the building about Daniel, they'd all say the same thing. Quiet, friendly, helpful. The kind of neighbor everyone wants. He held elevators, signed for packages, helped without being asked. He'd lived in 4B for 5 years before Sarah moved into 4A. Sarah was 31, fresh out of a long relationship, starting over in a new city. She met Daniel on her first day. He helped her with boxes, refused her money, smiled and disappeared. Nice guy, she thought. If she had known what he was doing, she would have left that apartment the same day. The first year was normal. Small talk, always smiles, shared packages. Sometimes he was always just there, arriving or leaving at the same time she did. She found it comforting. She never questioned it. She should have. Because by then, he already knew her routine better than she did. It started small. One of her plants moved slightly. Her towel on the wrong hook. Her juice pushed to the back of the fridge. Nothing major. Nothing alarming. Just off. The kind of things you ignore. Because the alternative is something your brain refuses to accept. Then came the smell. She walked in one evening and stopped. Something was different. A faint scent in the air. Plain. Masculine. Out of place. Like someone had been there not long ago. She opened the windows. Told herself it came from the hallway. But that night, she locked her bedroom door. For the first time. She didn't know why. Her body did. And her body was right. 13 months into year 2, Daniel made his mistake. Sarah wasn't supposed to be home. But she came back early. Sunday evening. Just before 7. She stepped into the corridor and saw it. Her apartment door was closing. Not open. Not unlocked. Closing. Like someone had just pulled it shut from the inside. She froze. Stared at it. Then noticed Daniel's door was already closed. She hadn't seen him. Hadn't passed him. But his door was shut. And hers had just closed. Her hands shook as she unlocked it. Inside, everything looked normal. Nothing out of place. But she stood there, scanning everything differently now. Reading it. Not just seeing it. And then, she found it. A mug. Clean. Sitting on the drying rack. She owned 4. She counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One that didn't belong. She didn't touch it. She took a photo and called the police. They came. Took the mug. Took her statement. They knocked on Daniel's door. He answered calmly, smiling, invited them in. Nothing. No evidence. No reason to hold him. But one officer asked her, "Has anyone ever had a copy of your key?" Sarah thought, then remembered. Months earlier, she'd locked herself out. Daniel had helped. Taken her to a locksmith. Waited with her. She got a replacement. 2 keys were made. She only took one. The locks were changed the next morning. But it was already too late. A private investigator later confirmed it. Daniel had been entering her apartment once a week. Always when she was gone. Never stealing. Never breaking anything. Just being there. Using her space. Leaving everything almost exactly as he found it. Almost. Then they found something else. Hidden in her living room. A tiny camera. No bigger than a button. Pointed exactly where she sat every night. It had likely been there for months. Maybe longer. Which meant he hadn't just been inside her home. He had been watching her. In real time. From next door. Daniel was charged. The trial lasted 4 days. His defense argued the camera was planted. That the evidence was circumstantial. That a man with no criminal record, loved by his neighbors, quiet and helpful and unremarkable, could not possibly have done what he was accused of. The jury took less than 3 hours. He was convicted. Sentenced to 4 years. He was released in 2.5 for good behavior. Sarah had moved cities by then. Changed her name legally. Started over again. She has a house now. No apartment. No shared walls. No neighbors directly beside her. She checks her own locks every night before bed, and never lets a locksmith make more than one key. And get this, the investigator reviewed every hour of that camera footage that could be recovered. And in 20 months of recordings, Daniel never looked at the camera. Not once. Not a single glance. As if he'd forgotten it was there. Or as if, after long enough, he'd simply started to feel at home. Sarah rebuilt her life slowly but somewhere else. Daniel is out, living quietly. But before you sleep tonight, check your locks, then check them again. And when you're done, look around your room. Not the way you usually do. The way she learned to. Like something might be slightly off. Drop 4B in the comments if this got to you. And if you want the next story, the one about the woman receiving texts from her own number sent from a phone that was destroyed years ago, hit subscribe. Turn the notification bell on, because that one goes places even we weren't ready for.